It's Saturday once again. Welcome to Chat Time with Wendy. I'm very glad. Shout out to all those who have been waiting and all those who are present here tonight. Thank you for waiting, and I really hope that you are going to make Saturdays a regular thing. You are going to spend this time chatting with Wendy, and I promise I'm even more inspired to give to you guests that will, give us inspiring stories as well. So for tonight, I am very happy to introduce to you a friend of mine. I'm so happy that he is a friend of mine, and I've got to know him while he was still here in Seoul as a graduate student. So a little bit about him. Um, we got to know here while he was studying, and then right now he's already there in the Philippines, giving back, paying it forward to the students of Gumaca. And I would like to introduce him, but let me have a little bit of codigo here. Mr. Joel Sumagpang Closa is a graduate of Master of Divinity in English at the Torch Trinity Graduate University in Seoul, South Korea. And he also graduated another Master of Arts in Asian Studies program at Sejong University here in Seoul, South Korea too. He went back to the Philippines, and right now, or he was a former school principal of Kids Light Foundational Learning Center Incorporated. He is a former instructor of language and humanities at Southern Luzon State University, where he received his GAD training for trainers. Presently, he is a secondary school teacher one at Gumaca Integrated School. He teaches ESP, guidance, and as a GAD coordinator. He is a proponent and trainer of Korean language, foreign language subjects for all tracks in senior high school, the first and only one in the region. He will tell us more about this later. He is the president of Gumaca West District Federation of Teachers Advisors, and now the president of Quezon Federation of Teachers and Advisors. He is the president of Gumaca West District Machete, which stands for Men Advocating God Consciousness for Human Equity Through Transformation Education. He is the focal person of gender and development. So I'm very glad to introduce to you Mr. Joel Sumagpang Closa. Hi,
Hello. Hi.
Joel. Thank you very
It's
much.
my honor and a pleasure to be with you, Wendy, tonight.
Tell
And
us briefly about yourself.
okay, um, can I speak in Tagalog or do I really have to speak in English?
No, sure, Tagalog.
O Tagalog, okay. Ako po si Joel S. Closa. Ako po ay tubong San Juan, Batangas. Totoo po na ako ay dating scholar sa South Korea. Ngayon po ay nasa pampublikong paaralan at nagsisilbi sa ating gobyerno.
Mm-mm.
At ngayon po ay kasalukuyan na guro ng mataas na paaralan. Ako po ay nagtuturo sa junior high school at sa senior high school. Proponent nga po at trainer ng Korean language. Ito po ang foreign language subject na inaprubahan ng ating region, Calabarzon, Region 4A, Department of Education, para maituro sa senior high school. At bukod po doon, ako rin ang administrator at founder ng ALAE, taga San Juan Group, kung saan ito po ang may pinakamalaking grupo online ng ating mga kababayan sa San Juan, Batangas at iba't ibang sulok ng mundo. Muli po, ako po si Joel Closa, mas kilala sa Sir Joel, Sir Closa, at matalik na kaibigan ng ating host, Miss WEndyflor Palomo. Magandang gabi po
Yeah,
sa lahat.
Magandang gabi. Before we proceed, shout out lang. Sabi ni Ringo, ang galing naman po when I introduced you. Um, Hi Narisa, Foxy, Chelax, Yunjamin, Chinkay. Good evening. Sino pa yung iba who are just there watching but are not saying anything? If you have any questions, just write down and we'll try to ask later, okay? So, Sir Joel, ganito, I'm really
Opo.
interested sa story mo kasi um, as a graduate, as a graduate here in Korea, very few, diba? Very few would like to go back to the Philippines, but instead, they would like to, look for greener pastures. So, interested
Um,
ako sa story mo na yan. But, before that, this will not be complete if we don't talk about your life here in Korea, how you got into the scholarship, because some of our listeners and viewers might get a thing or two on how you got your scholarship. Let's start from there.
okay. Um, I think it was 2005 after
Mm,
finishing college in 2004, 2005. I went to work in a call center. But then, hindi talaga yun that time, 2005, talagang trending yung working in a call center na BPO.
BPOs, right?
Yes, but then I know in myself na hindi talaga yun ang pangarap ko. Hindi talaga yun ang pangarap ko. So, while working in a call center, talagang I think it was just me na hindi ko alam na lahat ng ginagawa ko, I still try to enjoy and do my best. So, na-enjoy ko naman siya for 1 year. Tapos, nung ramdam ko na, no, it's about time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Sabi ko, I have to find myself. I have to really pursue my dreams. Sabi ko. So, iniwan ko yung call center. It was, that time, maayos na yung work. Nagpunta ako sa Hong
Malaki
Kong.
ang call center work sa Philippines, ha?
It is. That time, 2005. By the way, I was working as a pioneer ng call center na pinut up ng University of Perpetual Health of Rizal, UPHR, sa Las Piñas City. At
Mm-hmm.
that time, so sabi ko, sige, I have to um, move forward, and go for my dreams. Tapos, may application ako that time sa South Korea. I really, really wanted to study abroad. Yun talaga. I really, really wanted
Okay.
to study
You
abroad.
wanted to study abroad, but not necessarily South Korea. Kahit saan lang.
Yes, basically South Korea, Japan, or United States. I really, really wanted to learn and expand my horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to meet, of course, these Korean missionaries in the Philippines, and I had really good friends. And I think it's more of my family, extended family, na because you know, I am a Christian, and I grew up my faith with and through these Korean missionaries, and then um, minahal ko na yung learning, and I am so challenged. I'm so challenged that time na ang dami pa rin na mga Pilipino na nag-aaral sa abroad, bakit hindi ko kaya? So it was really my dream. And then that time, so ang una natin na preparation, actually, Wendy, that time yung ating English, yung command ng English natin. Kasi hindi naman
True.
talaga yun ang ating major. So, laking tulong sa akin nung call center experience ko.
Yeah.
And that, nung tapos na ako, nung I know that it's time to move on, uh, I have my sisters na domestic helper sa Hong Kong. So I said,
Mm-hmm.
sige, tatry ko nga ang Hong Kong. And then I went to Hong Kong and spent half year, a half year sa Hong Kong, and then sa Macau, while waiting for the scholarship that I applied back
Talaga? I
2005.
didn't know that. What did you do in Hong Kong?
What did I do in Hong Kong? Of course, alam mo tayo mga Pilipino, nakikipagsapalaran
Mm.
tayo. Pagdating ko sa Hong Kong, um, ginawa akong PA nung isang, I think, kaibigan ng aking ate. And she was that time working in a jewelry brand sa Hong Kong. And of course, it was my first time to work as a personal assistant, and I didn't realize na personal assistant should be doing everything, lahat ng lahat ng errands, like even shopping and buying stuff para sa kanyang sariling bahay, doing carpentry, doing cleaning of the house of my boss. And it was my first time. So I was fired. I got fired.
Nagalit ka ba sa kanya? Nag-away pa kayo?
After after working for her in like almost 3 months, the last work na binigay niya sa akin is go to IKEA and
Oo.
buy me this stuff for my house. My husband is coming back to Hong Kong from the US, and you have to paint my house, especially the door, the wooden door.
Mm.
Paint over the house. And then, of course, wala naman talaga ako experience sa painting ng house. So, I just painted it myself with the rolling pin without
Mm.
covering the steels, the doorknob and everything. So it got messed up. And then she came to her house, and she got so mad. So I was fired that day. And I
All
realized
right.
because because it was not my dream, Wendy. So it was not my dream.
Right. So
It was not
how were
the
you
thing that I was taught for.
so how were
Huh?
you able to get into the scholarship?
Um, because I left the Philippines, meron na tayong application through the Korean
Mm.
missionaries. Sabi nila, tutulungan daw ako. And so I just left the Philippines. And I went to China, in Hong Kong. So and then I moved to Macau after that incident in Hong Kong. I moved to Macau and tried to find some jobs. And then I worked as a janitor of a private school sa Macau. I was sweeping the floor, and I know this is not my dream, Wendy. This is not my dream. So,
Oh.
and then while walking around the Taipa Island, I got into this hotel where singers and performers are Filipinos. And I like
Oh,
singing too, and I can
everywhere,
sing. So
Filipino singers.
in Macau, yes.
So
And
yeah.
so I went there, walked in, and tried to introduce myself to the group and to their manager, and then I got the job. So
So nakumanta ka din
I
doon.
kumanta din ako sa hotel. I think that
Oh,
was Dragon Hotel.
I didn't expect this. I didn't know.
Konti lang yung restaurant ko.
Mag-hello muna tayo kay Rowena Villareno, Rochelle Jimenez, Sally. Alright.
Hi,
I didn't
Rowena.
expect that. I didn't expect that,
Opo.
ha? Because I didn't
I
know.
think pinagdaanan
Nagkwentuhan
ko
tayo,
to,
but I didn't know.
Wendy, pinagdaanan ko ito dahil sa aking paghahanap nung sarili ko at yung paghabol ko sa aking pangarap. But then, in the end
Teka
of the
lang,
day,
meron ulit, just like before kay Melanie, may nagsasabi ulit, sample po, sir. Sample
sample,
ng kanta. Sings
I
really
think,
well.
Wendy, I think next time na mag-guest ako, singing naman tayo.
Sorry, next time daw. Please
Next time?
continue.
Pwede ba next time? Okay. Okay, so nung nasa Macau na ako, and I was singing in the hotel, and then, that time, na-construct yung biggest hotel sa Macau. What was that? In Asia, the whole Asia, yun ang pinakamalaking hotel. And then, I waited for some time while waiting for the scholarship. And then, when I got the job,
Naka-process talaga yon. Somebody's processing your scholarship.
yes, somebody's processing my scholarship because I kept myself in contact and in communication with the Korean friends. And so, nung parang nawawala na rin ako ng pag-asa, Wendy. It's been like 3 years waiting.
Matagal
And
din.
yes, and I was in Macau, and I was like telling myself, nako, ano ba talaga ang mangyayari sa akin? So, I tried to apply sa Venetian. Have you heard of Venetian Hotel?
Yeah, yes.
That's the biggest hotel in Asia. That time I was in Macau, and it was built. And then nag-apply ako sa kanilang isang department doon, and I got the job as
Which is?
I, is store manager doon sa kanilang
Okay.
canal shops. And then that day that I got the job, and I got the call, the same day I got the call from my Korean friend and an email that my scholarship has been approved. And there's the agony, there's the dilemma of what to choose.
Which? Yeah,
I
right.
remember that time my father said, "Diyan ka na sa Macau because you're gonna earn, and you're already there." And then my mom, I remember she said, "Anak, punta ka sa Korea, study." And of course, I followed my mom's advice. So 2007, it was August, I went to Korea. And then the rest is
Yeah.
history.
So yun yung divinity, right,
Master
yun
of
yung
Divinity.
theological studies.
Theological
Master of
studies. Because
Divinity in English.
back then,
That's what I get you. But
my undergrad kasi was at the Batangas State University is accountancy. And then, nag-shift ako ng theology sa Dasmariñas, Cavite.
okay. Why?
And
Did you have any plans of being a pastor or?
I thought it was my journey in my soul searching. Hinahanap ko yung sarili ko, hinahanap ko yung puso ko, hinahanap ko yung purpose ko. So, yeah. And then, I went to Korea. 2010, I graduated the first master.
The first
And then
masters, yeah.
Yes.
Pero tayo nag-meet. I think we met around 2008 yata.
Right.
Yeah.
Ganun, ang tagal na
Tapos,
natin magkaibigan. And then, nagustuhan ko yung generosity, yung opportunity sa South Korea na binibigay nila sa mga Southeast Asian countries. The opportunity of studying.
Diba?
Kasi they have the best universities, actually. Na they have everything provided. So why don't I take another opportunity to study more and expand myself more? And then I was challenged, and I saw this advertisement from somewhere, I think online, and then I found Sejong University. Sejong University is an exclusive university that caters tourism, hotel and restaurant management. Doon talaga sila kilala. And ang program nila for foreigners is the Asian Studies program. Yes. And so I enrolled there, and luckily I got in. Ayun. Doon
okay.
halos umikat yung buhay.
After graduation, oo, ang exciting ng life mo dito eh. We know that, right? So, nag-work ka pa dito, di ba? After graduation?
Yes, kasi this is something that I can share to all the aspirants who aspire to study abroad or in Korea. Kapag you're in a graduate school, you have at least a minimum hour to study in the school, and the rest of the hours of the day, you are the one to manage. Yeah, you can work, you can do things, you can do more research and everything. So, I worked. Kaya
Right.
nasuportahan pa natin ng ating kapatid na nag-aaral dito sa Pilipinas. Ayun,
So, to our
marami.
viewers, a
Yes.
scholarship here in Korea will also provide you an opportunity to work on the sideline. Pero you have to take note because you're only allowed to have a maximum number of hours to work, right?
Yes, there's a maximum number of hours. At that time, I think the time that was given to me was 36 hours a week. But then they were not really, really strict.
Strict.
Yeah. I can still work in the evening. It's like I work from the afternoon until the evening, until the midnight. So you can make a lot of money. At the same time, you're earning the degree.
So what did you do?
Diba?
What kind of work?
Wendy, alam mo yun, the first, of
I know,
course,
but
na
for
work natin,
our
pag, pag,
viewers.
pag graduate school, the first thing is the tutorial, English tutorial.
Right.
And that time, ang taas na ng rate ko umaabot na ng 45,001 an hour, 50,001 an hour. Depende yan sa aking student. Yeah.
Oo.
Ang secret, gusto ko magbigay
For
ng
the
tips sa
benefit of our
mga
viewers is,
like 45 to 50 to 60. That's like $50, Wendy. That's like 2,500 an hour. Tama?
yeah, right. So,
So,
yes. Loosely, loose conversion, ganon.
loose conversion, yes.
And,
And then,
and for the benefit of our viewers kasi, yung mga yung ganyang rate, mga 50,000 an hour, 50,001 an hour is usually given to native speakers.
native speakers, yes.
Kaya,
So,
kaya
dapat, meron ka
maganda
talagang
na
baon. May baon ka dapat na magandang accent.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. For you to be able to, get that kind of amount. I would just like to acknowledge, hi Liza, Portia, hi Donna Vidal. Saan po
Hi.
theological school po kayo sa Korea?
The Torch Trinity Graduate
The
University.
theological school.
It's Torch Trinity Graduate University. It's located in Yangjae, in Gangnam.
In Gangnam, Rochelle. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so now, after graduation, may exciting life pa itong si Sir Joel eh. May mga pa yan, may mga events ka pa. You held events here,
Yeah.
and then may mga parties. So, exciting, very exciting life. Okay.
I had an exciting life. I thought because I started to really discover myself and appreciate being myself. And then I got to know friends like you and other good friends in South Korea. And then I got into these organizations, Filipino organizations, students organizations. And then these people know some people that introduced me to these people. And then there it goes. Yung network ko, lumaki ang network. And then some of my friends said, why don't you organize something like this and something like that? And then I started to organize things. And then yun, naging laman na tayo ng mga events, laman na tayo ng mga gatherings, both even the government, even the mga NGOs, mga social gatherings. Masaya. Yeah.
Yes.
At
I'm witness to that. Madami nakikita ng mga events na ginawa ni Joel dito, and it was you're on a roll. So, what made you decide to go back to the Philippines?
Okay. Like for the master's degree, Korea only gives you, I think, the maximum of 5 years for a degree to finish it. So, nung tapos na ang ating visa, and I still tried to apply for further studies like the PhD because I really like Korea. But then something is wrong, something didn't work out. So I know from that time, it's about time for me na kailangan nang umuwi sa Pilipinas and really work for my people. It's about time to get back. Ayun.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sabi ni Lizelle, wow, super galing niya po. Proud po sa kanya. Nakaka-inspire talaga. Let's
glory
listen
to God.
more. Yeah.
Ayun.
How, how was the transition? Be honest. At
The
first,
transition
paano
was
yung naging transition
very,
mo?
very, very hard. Wendy, that time, it was 2016. I came April 2016. It's in the middle of the election campaign. I thought
Okay.
was it? I think no, no, no. It was, I
Kasi,
think, already sitting. The sitting president was already our present president, President Duterte. And the Philippines that time is also in a radical transition.
mm,
Maraming pagbabago sa Pilipinas. And me, I came to Philippines. Ang unang-unang naging problema ko ay balat. There were
balat.
the
You mean
rashes,
allergies and hindi na ba sanay
itchiness,
sa weather and the
the weather,
water?
the water, the air, and the people. The culture is so different because Wendy, remember, I've been in Korea for 10 years.
Right.
10 years. So, parang ito na yung naging yung katawan ko, ito na yung lifestyle ko, and then I went to Philippines and there, it's different. You have to fall in line. You have to do things. You have to you have to go
Kasi
through.
for, for the benefit of viewers, yung by from context ha, here in Korea kasi, they're really into the pali-pali system. Hurry, hurry.
Yes,
Everything is done in a rush. You get things
yes,
done quickly. So, kagaya na
yes,
yung mga pila-pila, kaya dito is not as long and as not as matagal as in the Philippines.
yes.
So kaya nga I told Joel, be honest ha, how was the transition?
So, yun, sa tubig, there were these days na nagtai ako, nagkaroon ng rashes. Hindi ko maintindihan bakit ako may rashes. Na dati naman wala akong rashes. Sabi ko, ang itim-itim ko naman, bakit nag-iinarte yung aking balat? Dati naman hindi ganito. And then I realized, it was my physical and emotional transition dito sa Philippines.
Tapos,
You know, Wendy, I think I really
kasi,
had
there's that thing na,
a good life in Korea. I thought because of I was surrounded with good people. So for me, ang tip ko sa inyo na everyone who's going abroad to study or to be an expat, surround yourself with good people. Yun.
that's how you make life easy and fun.
Right. So dito sa
And
Philippines, so I have to go back to zero. Like I have to start to make my own network. Like I have to one by one surround myself with good people again. Yun.
yeah,
And
right. So, parang starting all over again. Kasi
yes,
10 years is not basta-basta. You've taken
yes,
roots kahit papano here in Korea,
yes,
and you've got to take roots again back there in the Philippines.
yes. And it's normal. I encourage everyone na do not get stressed. It's normal transition that you have to go through this everything na
Yeah.
pinagdadaanan nila ngayon kapag bumalik na sila ng Pilipinas. At huwag kayong matakot.
On your transition period ba, medyo nag-ano ka din? Medyo nag-wish ka din, I wanna go back to Korea. Did you
Yes,
wish for that?
actually. Yes,
Oh.
I many times I wished to go back, and then sometimes may panahon na um, pumapasok sa utak ko that time na hindi pa ako nag-start na magplano ng everything. Pumapasok sa utak ko, bakit dapat pala hindi pa muna ako umuwi ng Pilipinas? Baka it's not really about time for me to really settle down sa Pilipinas. And then, alam mo, yung prayer din, at saka yung support ng family mo, it's very, very helpful and important talaga. Yun.
Yeah. At least,
Nawawala.
importante na very strong ang conviction mo. Oo nga eh. Very strong ang conviction mo and spirituality mo, no? Para you can keep on. You have the strength, the inner strength to keep on and to go, not give up. Kasi there's that thing usually sa mga expats who go to other countries, transitioning into a new life is difficult. But going
Yeah.
out of the country and going back to your own country is another thing.
Actually,
So meron,
sabi nung iba, mas mahirap yung transition na pagdadaanan mo kapag bumalik ka sa iyong bansa.
right. Okay. Acknowledge. Hi, hello, Arnold. Yes, I would like to have coffee with you again soon, sana. Paula, yeah, I think Joel has already mentioned about the transition because Paula is also a scholar, was also a scholar here in Korea, and then she worked for a while. She's married, but they're here, and they had a plan of going back to the Philippines, but because of COVID, medyo wag muna.
Yes.
Rochelle said, ibang yung work from Philippines to Korea, yung pali-pali experience. Yes, kasi si Rochelle pala, she was here working in Korea also before. Okay, now Joel, how did you get into the public school system?
Okay. Ganito yun. So I came to Philippines 2016, and that time dito sa Gumaca, right now I'm based here in Gumaca, Quezon Province. Hello sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Quezon who's watching. That time nung ang expectation ko, Wendy, since graduate naman ako abroad, pagdating ko sa Pilipinas, things will be easier. Opportunities just come to you. And then, I was upset kasi hindi pala 'yon hindi yun ang realidad ng buhay. Kahit saan pala hindi dapat ganon.
Not
Hindi
as
dapat
smooth as
ganon.
you
So,
imagined.
right. So, mabuti na lang. So that time, nung sabi ko, mahirap palang mag-apply ulit ng trabaho, parang kakainin mo ulit lahat ng ginawa mo sa abroad, lahat ng achievement mo sa abroad, kakainin mo lahat yon, back to zero ka. Mabuti na lang, andito yung kapatid ko, dito sa Gumaca, they're running a private school. And that time, my brother-in-law, who was the administrator of the school, got so sick, and they asked my help and assistance. Sabi nila, since wala ka pa namang work, ngayon kabalik ka na, why don't you work for us and become our temporary principal? And then once you settle down, and alam mo na, it's about time to go, then you can leave Kids Light Foundational Learning Center. And that school, ang grabe ang naging tulong sa akin. Holistic help and support ang binigay nila sa akin. And it was my first job here. And in-apply agad natin yung mga alam natin na pagpapalakad ng mga hagwons or academies sa South Korea. And it was successful years of Kids Light Foundational Learning Center. Though, ang Kids Light Foundational Learning Center, the school that my brother-in-law and my sister is running, they really have this long history of excellence and quality education for preschool. Preschool lang sila. And they were founded 2001. And now they've been in the field for 20 years.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good to know. Naging naging okay yung, well, it was not super, super duper okay, pero nagkaroon ka ng chance to, you know, to have that foundation, to have that base. Naging way siya for you to become what you are now. Before
Right,
that,
right.
shout out to EL Ram's vlog. And Lizelle said, true po yan, Sir Joel, back to zero kapag nag-apply. And shout out po, Tito Jessie, birthday po niya ngayon, kasama ni Yun Jamlim habang nanonood. Happy, happy
Happy
birthday!
birthday. Hi.
Now,
Right.
Joel, since you are dealing with children, with school there, and also you dealt with children and school here in Korea, what's the difference? Because we know how competitive the parents here in Korea are. How is it there in the
Dito,
Philippines?
Wendy, it's even more here in the Philippines
Ah,
now. Yeah.
how? Because I don't
Um,
have it. I don't have experience. You know, my children are here.
uh, in Korea, public school, after the school, they have this academy where I work.
A
And
lot. Yeah.
yeah,
Once.
and
At
I
least.
remember, and I remember there were like I had some issues with teaching children and like cultural adjustment and them too. These children also had some adjustment with me as well, and the parents sometimes they they complain, and sometimes they even visited my class and tried to check my class. And I thought I was really prepared already, and my experience in South Korea prepared me so much to my work here in the Philippines. So and it's good that Kidslight Foundational Learning Center is also a private school. It's not so parang halos ganun din kasi yung children in Korea, they're rich, and
Yeah. So
they're
that's
very
why.
concerned. They're very concerned with their children. And here in Kids Life, so nakita ko halos pareho lang, mas mahigpit pa ang mga Pilipino when it comes to taking care of their children.
Oh wow, that's good sa bagay. Yeah, when I go back to the Philippines and just checking on Facebook, we even have this thing about parents showing their grades, their children's grades on social
Yeah.
media. Very
And they're very
competitive.
competitive.
Okay, I get you there. Yes. Si Yel Rams vlog pala is from Laia, San Juan, Batangas.
Yes, he's my kumpare. Inaanak ko ang kanyang anak. Yes, yes. Hi, kumpare. Hi.
Hello, thank you for watching. And back. Okay, now that you are there na in the Gumaca Integrated School as a
Yeah.
teacher, secondary teacher, how is it? Kasi now you're dealing with teenagers.
Um, Wendy, in Korea, I actually work from the preschool to high school and even college.
Mm.
I taught college. I even
So
taught
range.
business
Oh, so
person. So I think everything worked together and everything prepared me so much for the thing na ito talaga yung calling ko. Kaya masaya ako. Yung nakita ko nga yung mga question na pinrepare mo, yung one of the last questions I said na sinabi mo kung nasa na ako. I'm at my best. I'm at my happiness, Wendy.
I'm so
Kasi
happy to hear.
so balik tayo dun sa nang nasa Kids Light na ako, Wendy. I try to open my business, a small business in Gumaca. It's a
Oh yeah,
pottery business.
I love that. I didn't have a chance to buy one from you because it's so far.
I closed it with Wendy. One reason is sobrang naging busy na ako sa work. And I realized in the business, kailangan talaga kung kayo po ay mag-o-open ng business, dapat po hands-on kayo. Especially kung ang business nyo kagaya ng sa akin na pottery and crafts. like that time nung nagsimula ako, I really had to go Ilocos, Bicol, Batangas, Pampanga to really look for these potteries. And so I can
Did you have to
compare
source it out?
prices and products. Pero
You
nawala
get
na ako ng time. Say that
oo,
again?
kasi teaching is a very
Oo. Right.
full-time profession.
Second
Oh,
thing, in the Philippines, Wendy, it's so hard to run a business kasi from time to time you have this BIR requirements, you have all these requirements that comes and check. Yeah. So, maraming kailangang actually, it's easy to open a business, but to maintain the business, it's actually harder than we can ever think. And then,
pwedeng half ng effort mo or ng um, attention mo. It has to be full. You have to be there fully.
Wendy, nung time na sabi ko, okay, it's about time to go. Alis na sa kids life kasi nag-apply na ako sa Southern Luzon State University. And there I taught as part-time instructor. And then I passed also some of papers and documents para sa promotion. So, busy na rin ako sa college, teaching college students. And I enjoyed it so much. I really enjoyed it. I think it's something about me, Wendy, na when I do something, I really try my best to enjoy things and do my best. And I think yun din lang aking paalala sa lahat. Maaring hindi pa yun talaga ang end, or hindi pa rin talaga yun yung pinaka gusto mo sa buhay, pero kung nasaan ka man ngayon, please do your
Just
best. Wag
give it your
nating
all.
sirain yung opportunity. Let's just do your best wherever you are right now. If you're still in the process of achieving your dream, kung nasaan po man kayo ngayon, do your best.
That's a very good advice. That's a very sound advice. So I'm doing my best in YouTube now.
Yes,
Which
you are
brings
actually, Wendy. Congratulations.
thank you. Which brings
Actually,
me to this.
Wendy, may I remind you that I am your fan. I'm
Thank you.
really a fan and a supporter of WEndyflor from, I think, from your Rocking Cradle blog.
Cradle, yes.
Diba? I'm your
Yeah,
fan. So right
we
now,
met
it's
over the
my
blog.
honor. I'm so honored to be invited here.
Oh no, thank you so much for your time. But we're not ending yet, because
Okay.
talking about giving your all. This brings us now to the chance when the Department of Education put the Korean language into its curriculum. Now, you mentioned you are a proponent of Korean language as a subject for high school
Mm-mm.
seniors,
Kasi,
senior high
Wendy,
schools.
ganito
So,
yon. Dito sa Pilipinas, I think it's nung nag-apply kami 2019, 2018, nag-start na sila. I
2018,
think it's a work of Koika, I think. This is a Korean organization
right.
promoting Korean language and culture. But then, ang naging plano nila is to offer Korean language as a special subject for junior high school. And so, nung nakita ko yon, parang huli na yung aming school para makasama sa aming region kasi tapos na sila na mag-train ng teachers sa region na sa Calabar. So, tapos na sila, so wala na tayong pag-asa. And then that time, I already was asked to teach in senior high school as well. And then inopen ko siya sa aking principal. And may I say hello to our very hardworking principal, Madam Judith B. Fortuna.
Hello,
Hardworking.
madam.
Yeah. So, yun. Very supportive. Nung inopen ko sa kanya, ma'am, baka gusto niyo pong mag-open ng Korean language. And then sabi niya, sige, support na kita. Ang bilis niyang magtrabaho, Wendy. Sa lahat ng paperworks, like, she really went with me through and through sa lahat ng process. And then, nakita namin, kailangan to be able to offer this language, kailangan ikaw, meron ka ring trainer's methodology na ino-offer ng TESDA. So, sa lahat sa inyo po na nais na mag-open ng Korean language, first, ang inire-require nila, dapat po ay merong trainer. Una ko, kung nais nyo maging trainer, kukuha po kayo ng certification na trainer's methodology sa TESDA po ito.
Only in TESDA. TESDA lang makakapag-bigay ng certification.
Yes. So, yes. At kahit po yun ay i-offer nyo sa senior high school, kung wala naman po kayong trainer na certified ng TESDA, mahirapan po magbigay ng permit or ng recognition o ng permission to open a Korean language subject sa inyong school. So yun po, kailangan yung at that time, Wendy, kilala mo naman ako na kapag gusto ko talaga isang bagay, makukuha talaga natin, gagawin ko ang lahat. So I tried to visit the regional office of TESDA in Batangas City. And I went there personally, nagpunta ako sa office at kinaibigan ko talaga yung, alam mo, yung mga administration officer doon. Sabi ko, tinawag ko na agad nga siyang, Ninang, pwede po ba yung maging Ninang? Sabi ko, Ninang, pag may opening naman po ng TM, pakibigay niyo na, let me know. So, yung I make friends, Wendy. So, ito tip din sa lahat. Please make friends. Filipino are the most friendly people in the whole world. Why don't you first be friends with Filipinos? If you can be friends with foreigners, then why can't we be friends with Filipinos? So, yun, Wendy, that's the secret. So, nung sinabi nila sa akin, oy, may scholarship na ino-offer ngayon dito sa TESDA, baka gusto mong i-avail. Wendy, my God, I went there straight and then I applied and then sabi ko sa principal, ma'am, paano po yan? I have this subject. Sabi niya, sige, nagawa kami ng letter para magpaalam na I can only work for this 3 days and then the other 2 days, for example, ako, pagkatapos kong magturo Wendy ng Thursday, afternoon, I have to run to TESDA para mag-learn ng TESDA. Over the weekend, babalik ako ng Tuesday na sa school kasi I have to attend the flag ceremony of TESDA in the Monday. So ganun talagang sakripisyo yung ginawa natin. And then, yun.
Saan ang TESDA? You're in Gumaca and saan yung
I'm in
TESDA?
Gumaca. So it's like 5-hour drive.
Malayo. So talagang, how long was this?
It was a month and a half training.
Oh, okay. Ang galing kasi you really went for it. Kaya nagkaroon ng benefit sa'yo at sa school. Right?
Yes, actually, it's win-win for me kasi nga, an additional certification to sa akin, additional eligibility. Ang galing, hindi lahat ng teacher ay binibigyan ng ganung pagkakataon. I was so blessed. Really
So,
blessed.
you grabbed that opportunity. You made the opportunity for you. You opened it for yourself.
Sabi nga, ay parang may narinig ako na, if you cannot find the opportunity, make a door. Ikaw na daw ang gumawa ng pintuan para makapasok sa opportunity. Something like that. So I really make way.
You don't just wait for the opportunity, you create it for yourself.
Yes.
Sabi ni Melissa, we need to learn how to socialize, agreeing with what you said to make friends with everyone. And Lizelle said, sana dito din sa Kamsur meron na niya ng Korean language.
I can help. Wendy, sa Kamsur, please. I can help. I can help them. I can give advice and I can guide them as well.
Oh, Lizelle, kung sino mo ng point person nyo dyan, check Joel Sumagpang Closa in Facebook. There. And that's very admirable kasi talagang you went all out for it and you made it happen for yourself and for the school. With that, advance happy birthday, Mr. Joel, on February 10.
Thank
Parang
you,
biglang
thank you. February 10.
February
Remember,
10 ang
Wendy,
birthday.
every time ng birthday ko, meron tayong event. May pa-event ako sa Seoul, and then it's a concert. It's something like for a cause, activities and events. Nakakatuwa. So I miss,
Yeah.
yung mga tinatanong sa akin, Wendy, kung nami-miss ko daw ang Korea. Actually, hindi ang Korea. It's the people that I miss. The
Yeah.
Koreans, the Filipinos, and
There's
the
so many,
everyone.
not just Filipinos, but so many. You've made a lot of friends here.
Yeah. It's not the place, Wendy, kasi when it comes to place, sabi mo, magandang place, it depends talaga sa iyo kung ano yung, how do you define maganda. Kasi sa Philippines, ang dami nating magandang places
O
na,
naging second Instagrammable place pa nga in the world of Philippines eh.
kaya nga, kasi Wendy, yung maganda sa Korea, you should not compare sa maganda sa Pilipinas. It's like comparing apple to orange. And they're
Yes.
different ganda. They're both maganda, but different ganda. So, you don't compare. So, ikaw talaga, ang susi ng ganda ng lugar, it's you. Ikaw po talaga. So, it's not the place. It's the people. It's really the people. So,
I
at saka, ang sikreto talaga dito na yung journey ko from the call center to Macau to Korea, you really have to chase for your dreams. For your dream. And God will make a way. If you guys believe in God, and He will make a way. Talaga.
True,
Yun.
I really agree with that. Because, there's always somebody up there greater than our plans.
It
Because no
is.
matter
And
how well laid our plans are, if it's not, I mean, I've personally made so many plans, but they just don't happen because, there's somebody out there, up there, who's just, laying it
and
out for us.
everything will just work together for good. Na masasabi mo, kaya pala. Ganun.
Hmm. Okay. Aside from being a teacher, I know you're very active there in
Yes,
Gumaca and
very
in
active.
Batangas. Tell us about these.
And Gumaca, of course, it's more of the organizations inside the Department of Education. Mas mahirap na kasi ngayon ang teachers, mahirap na tayo na mapahalo sa politika. So, as much as possible, marami namang opportunities and organizations na pinoprovide sa atin ng Department of Education for us to grow socially and morally, everything. Holistic talaga ang support ng DepEd sa mga teachers. So, I became really, really active sa school government, yung mga school government ng SGO ng schools, and then I was elected in the district, and then now I'm the president of the whole province, of the whole division. Diba? Tapos, marami pa. Sa Alae naman, when it comes to my hometown in San Juan, Batangas, we're still the biggest online community sa San Juan. Very, very active kami.
Yung
And
Alae, right?
Alae, taga San Juan, Batangas. Remember, our group in Seoul also supported many times Alae San Juan group. That time, it was actually founded during the time of Glenda Typhoon when San Juan was hit by that typhoon. At maraming mga kababayan namin talaga yung naapektuhan. And our group in Seoul, yung ating grupo, really supported so much
Yung
sa lahat ng
bikes, no?
ating mga ginawa, di ba?
I remember
And
yung
then,
bike to school something program mo.
right. Actually, right now, Wendy, we're still running our program sa Alae. We have Bolangay, where we give out bola for our out-of-school youth para sa halip na bisyo, let's get to the sport, let's get to hobbies. And
Okay.
we have also, of course, the bisikwela. Ako ang nauna
Yes.
nung bisikwelang yun. Nauso na siya sa Pilipinas, but it was 2015 when we started this program, Bisikwela. Namigay tayo ng bisikleta sa mga eskwela sa far-flung areas para hindi sila tumigil sa pag-aaral kasi nga wala daw pamasahe. And also we have Batang Alae Scholarship Center where we give out support, financial support and school supplies sa mga talagang indigent at saka really people in needs, yung mga families in needs. Pero ngayon natutuwa ako, our government has the 4Ps program at ang dami na talagang mga groups ang tumutulong sa atin. Kaya nitong pandemic, hindi na tayo nag-worry. Yeah.
That's good, that's good. Kasi yung paano pala, kasi I remember asking this to you offline, yung way of teaching ninyo ngayon, wala bang problema sa ibang mga bata? That,
For some schools na mayroon tayong mga estudyante na may access sa internet, meron silang mga online classes. But for Gumaca Integrated School, we only have the modular learning, kung saan yung printed materials lang na binibigay natin sa mga bata, ating dinidistribute sa kanila certain day, tapos meron kaming weekly home learning plan kung saan yung susundin nila at magiging gabay. At gagawin nila yung mga activities na nasa module, tapos tapusin nila in a week, and then after a week ibabalik nila yung mga output sa amin, and they will get the new set of module for the week. Yun ang nangyayari sa amin. So when I go to school, kasi dumating yung araw na talagang we work every day. Dumating din ang araw na we cannot work in the school. Like we have to do work from home. And right now, meron tayong tinatawag na skeletal working force, kung saan sa amin, sa school namin, we were divided into 3 kasi Monday we are required to come to school kasi it's the distribution of the module and collection of the output. And then Tuesday group, Wednesday group, and then the Thursday group, and then Friday we have to be at school kasi that's the last day for us to submit all the modules, preparation, and everything. At saka yung mga adjustment na gagawin namin. So at least we work in the school like 3 days a week, but while at home, we still have to work because meron kami tinatawag na IDLAR or individual daily IDLAR achievement. So yun, yes, sinusulat namin ang mga nagawa namin for the whole day, for the whole hours. Nire-report pa rin namin yon. No IDLAR, no work, no pay. Ganun. Yeah.
Effective yun.
It is effective. It is effective.
For the students, they definitely have to go to school once a week to pick up and to study.
No, it's not a student actually. It's the parents. But right now, since the parents and the guardians, sometimes it is being delivered to them by our local government, like the barangay officials and barangay workers. And kapag talaga hindi nila kaya, pag hindi sila dumating, talagang pinapa-deliver namin. Yun yung paraan namin to assure na to make sure na lahat ng ating mga students wala tayong naiiwan sa edukasyon.
True. So everybody's working. The teachers, the parents,
everybody's working. Right now, totoo, to educate a child, it takes the whole country. It takes the whole community. Yeah.
True, I agree. Si Donna Vidal said, kami din modular learning, di kayang online kasi di lahat ng learners may magandang Wi-Fi connection. Right?
At sa amin, hindi lahat ng learner may gadget.
True. Miss Donna, are you also a teacher? We'll wait for her answer. So yun yung challenges, no? Pero how is it? Medyo everyone is getting the hang of it na din naman, even the students.
Lakas lang ng loob. Alam mo yung mga Pilipino, malakas lang talaga ang loob, matatapang tayo eh. You know, kahit sabihin pa nila na yung tinatawag natin na tayo mapagtiis,
Oh,
No, it's we have to thrive, we have to survive, and Filipinos are survivors.
I
So
agree.
ako, very very hopeful ako na makakaya natin, mapapagdaanan ng mga Pilipino itong pandemyang ito, Wendy.
Let's pray for that. It has to end. This has to end.
Soon.
Donna said yes, she is a teacher. So yeah, you're both teachers here. Somebody can relate to you
Hi,
as well.
Dora.
Mm. Um, so there. Um, did you ever think? Did you ever think of the what ifs? Na if you didn't go back to the Philippines, what if you went somewhere else and you could have gotten, you know, bigger and better opportunities? But what's bigger and what's better?
When did that time that I decided to go back to Philippines, wala na yung thinking na yun. I'm
Wala.
focused. Like, I am going back to my country. I'm gonna work for my people. I'm gonna help my people. And I have to give back. Dito na ako mamamatay, Wendy.
But that's very inspiring kasi hindi lahat may ganyan eh. And I know na there are people, very few, once they decide on something, yun na yun. They focus on that. But a lot of people, they decide on something, but still, there are still what ifs. There are still, the thought of what if I did this? What if I did that? What if, things have been
And
different?
I think, Wendy, it's normal. Karapatan din naman nilang mag-isip. And then yung sinasabi mo na yung mga kasamahan natin na they look for the greener pasture, okay lang din. Kasi iba-iba naman talaga tayo ng gift. At yun, iba-iba din tayo ng calling. Baka kasi yung kanilang paghanap ng greener pasture, it's their journey as well to achieving the dreams and the purpose that that was designed for them. So it's okay. So naniniwala ako by the end of the day, dun tayo sa purpose na kinreate ni someone up there para
Right.
sa
That's
ating
why
lahat.
That's why there was that philosophical question, what's better and what's bigger? Kasi nga it's very relative to each of us. Eh. What's bigger and better for you may not be, bigger and better for me. What's
Mm.
good for you may not be good for me because we all have different values. We all have different
Yes.
orientations. Ang importante is, we remain convicted. Yung malakas ang conviction natin
Oo.
on the path that we go through on
At least
the
sa akin conviction yon. So, yung conviction mo yon. Go. Wala.
true.
Hmm.
It had been really nice talking with you, chatting with you tonight. I'm so happy that we got this chance, not just to chat between us, but to share our chat with everyone else who are listening right now and who will be listening in the future because this will
Isn't it,
be
Wendy? Di ba, pag tayo naman nag-uusap, even on and off the camera, lagi tayong, it's been always a good conversation. Hindi ba?
yeah, I agree. So I miss that.
I miss that too.
I wish this pandemic will stop so that we can, I want to go back and say hello and hug, there in the Philippines. Virtual
Wendy,
hug.
Wendy, thank you. And to all our viewers, marami pong salamat sa inyong pagsama sa amin. Sana po kahit kaunti ay may natutunan kayo, na-encourage namin kayo. And please subscribe. Subscribe kayo sa channel ng ating kaibigan na si Wendyflor Palomo. And
Thank
I
you
think
so much.
she will bring you so much more. That woman will
Thank,
never fail you.
thank you. I'll try to really give you guests, inspiring guests, because we are not just here to. Well, I'm not an entertainer, so I'm not here to entertain you. But at least we get to have some people with us who will be able to share their life experiences, their stories, just like the previous guests, and it will make it more meaningful, and maybe some of you there will be inspired. Like for example, here with Sir Joel, you will be inspired to look for opportunities abroad or look for your calling and um, find yourself, what you really want. So, and at some point, you will be able to see who you really are. You will be able to find yourself and be content. Only then
Contentment.
will Yes, only then will you be able to truly share what you have and who you are to others. You'll be a gift to others.
Ayun. So, marami pong salamat muli, Wendy. Tapos na po ba tayo? I think
Thank
it's
you
more than
very
an
much.
hour.
Would you like to have any last message to our
Last
viewers?
message sa ating mga kababayan sa kapwa ko Pilipino, laban po tayo. Maaring tayo ay sugatan, pero tayo ay mananatiling buo. Maaring tayo natatakot, pero hindi tayo duwag. Mga Pilipino, laban po tayo hanggang matapos ang pandemiko. Marami pong salamat. Magandang gabi po.
Maraming salamat and magandang gabi. All right, that was a nice chat time with Sir Joel tonight. Thank you very much for being here, for being with us until the end of this session. I'll see you again next week for chat time with Wendy. Tomorrow I'll have a premiere of another video. I hope to see you there. I hope walang sawang pagsusuporta sa inyo and let's entertain ourselves in our respective homes because at the moment we need to be keeping safe at home. Be safe and good night. Till the next time. Bye.